Hey, welcome to the shop. I'm Vernon, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this pretty little ring box. Now, I got this idea from a wood turner on YouTube. He turned one of these on a lathe, and I thought to myself, can I make that on my CNC? I bet I can, and I bet I can make it fancier on the CNC than you can with an ordinary lathe. Can I? I think I can. There's a relief on this side, there's a V-carve on the inside, and there's a post on the inside to hold your rings. So if you want to know how I did this, stick with me and let's get started. So I guess the first step is to decide what kind of wood you're going to use. Now, I've got this end grain cutting board in process right now, and because of that, I've got this wood left over, which happens to be Peruvian walnut. It's a nice, dark, rich color, and I think that's what we're going to go with. What I need to do is slice this up so that I've got 2 pieces of stock, 4 inches by 4 inches, a minimum of 1.5 inches thick. So I'll take this guy, slice him down, take this guy, he's already sliced down, cut him into 4 by 4 pieces, glue them together, and then we'll start working with the mill. Boy, this stuff smells good when you cut it. Now, I do have a new, I just made this recently, table saw sled. This design comes from Nick Elger on the Workshop Companion. I've talked about him before. It reminds me of my grandfather, very smart guy, but the fence is bolted in with a slight gap down here with washers so that the dust can get through, and the bolt holes are elongated slightly so that you can lock the one in place, tap this one way or the other to get a perfectly square piece. Of course, you got a little guard here so you don't cut yourself in the hand, but all in all, it's a really good design. So like I said, we need to go 4 inches on these guys for the stock size. I've got a new ruler as well. If you've never seen one of these rulers, Fast Cap makes them. I don't know if you can see them from that distance or not, but they are what they call a lefty-righty tape measure, meaning there's numbers on both sides of the tape that you can use to read. I have a little bit of a pet peeve with normal tape measures. This one here, for example, only has the numbers in the center, and I'm right-handed. So let's do a little practice run here. So I want to measure something. I put this out here. Now the numbers are upside down. All right, so let's go the other way. So if we go this way, now I got to grab for my pencil. And as you can see, this guy moves, and I got to somehow steady it while I'm making a mark. With this guy, I can pull it the right way, hook it over the edge, pull it to any distance I want, reach for my pencil, and watch the board go across the table. No. Pull it out to any length I want. There's a little stop here on the back that holds it. You can stop it anywhere you want. But then I can actually read the tape measure in the right direction. It's pretty cool. I'm not sponsored by Fast Cap. I was looking for a left-handed, I guess I called it a left-handed tape measure at one point, and I found one. Way easier to deal with than a traditional. Let's cut these guys into 4-inch pieces so that I can glue them together. I can't do it. Okay, and make sure when you're gluing these together that the grain is running the same direction. You don't want one going this way and one the other. It'll look bad when it's carved. So glue them in the correct grain orientation. at a certain stage, this project is going to have to be held on that mill, and it's going to be round. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to make ourselves a fixture that we can cut a round circle out of to create a clamping device for the ring box. And when we do that, we will home out of the center here, and then I will cut a circle. And then from there, I'll put the piece in and I'll show you how we're going to hold it. Also, that circle will be 0.02 bigger than the actual box, so that I know that I can get it in there, and then I can figure out how I'm going to hold it still, probably with some CA glue. And now we'll just run it through the flattener. Like that. So let's put some holes in the corners so we can hold it down. Like that. A little counter stink for good measure. Wouldn't you know it, if I put that on the edge of those pipes, that screw ends up in that hole and that screw ends up in that hole? We can fix that though. We put this on here, put this on here, then we can put this on here, and this here will be good in here, and then it can stay there. Just like that. Now we're going to begin with this V-bit just to locate the origin in the center. Do yourself a favor and get yourself one of these little lights. Good enough. We're going to begin with this guy here, a 1/2-inch bowl cut. And we're going to start on the bottom of this project. And the first thing we're going to do is cut out the pocket for the actual box. I don't like that sharp edge on there, so we're going to take a 1/4-inch ball nose now, and we're going to put an ever so slight round over on that. I used the shape editor in Carveco to create that round over. It's basically a little relief. So let's put this in here and round that over so that it's a smoother transition for putting things on there. Less chance of a fingernail getting caught on that thing. One little additional thing, you're going to see the bit travel quite a distance off of it. The reason for that is because I had to do an internal or carve inside the vectors command. I didn't want to do the whole thing. I didn't want to go all the way back and forth across this, so I put a little bitty circle around this, wide enough to get this bit beyond the edge of this so that it can do its little dance and make that thing round. Let's see what it does. All right, so we learned a valuable lesson. Do the round over before you try to carve this out. I should have done that first. I rounded it over with a sander in the drill press and glued it back in. It's in there. We're going to continue with it the way it is. We should be good to go. Now we're going to cut the recess for the overhang of the lid, and we're going to cut it loose. That's the bottom. All right, so what I'm going to do is tell this thing to go back to the origin. And I don't know how many of you have seen this little doohickey I made, but it goes on there. I can lower this down, and then I can move this block to where the origin is. May have to adjust it just a little bit. Should be right there. I'll put the screws in it, zero it out, make sure everything is zero, and we can start working on the top. Crunch. Okay, the top. So the first thing we got to do is cut out a hollow in the center of it and drop it down. Alright, so I got this flat spot in here. I'm going to push my luck again with a 30-degree V-bit, and I'm going to put a design down there in the bottom of that. Now what I did was I changed the start depth to 1 inch. So if I've done this correctly, this bit should plunge to that point and start doing its carve down in there. Let's keep our fingers crossed that I got it right. Alright, don't look at that mistake. That's going down. Now this doesn't have to be perfectly centered where I'm cutting, because I'm going to just cut a circle, so I'm not real concerned about it. I'm going to bring the machine back over to where 0 is. And as long as I got enough room, I'm good, and I am. So now I will 0 off the top of that. Another thing, do not pull your bit down on top of your block to get it closer. Keep it away. That way you don't hit your block by mistake. So let's give it a whirl. I want it so the grain is running this way when I put this in here, and it is tight. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I say we rock and roll and see what happens. You know what? I could put a little tape on that, a little CA glue. See if I can get that and make that happen. There's no CA glue on that thing, but just that little bit of tape, one wrap. Tighten that up to the point where I can't move it. Hopefully I can get it back out. The idea is that we're going to carve a black-eyed Susan flower in here. Now, there's more than one way to get a black-eyed Susan. The second way usually involves one of these and a trip to the Crowbar Motel. Don't give Susan a black eye. Give the flower a black eye. All right, now to make it pretty, we're going with a 1/16 tapered ball nose. Now, can I get this out of here? May have to take it off the table first. And just in case you think I'm kidding, it's in there. But we're getting it. A little sanding, add some finish, and let's see what we get. All right, there we have it. A pretty little ring box. Now I'm using Bumbleshoot's furniture finish or wood finish. I've never used it before. I'm not really good at using it. I can see that. I'm making a mess all over the table there, the counter, but we'll get the hang of it here eventually. It says to apply a liberal coat, wipe off the excess, put a couple more on, sand after those 2 or 3 with 300, and then put a last finishing coat on. At any rate, if you've made it this far in the video and you've stuck with me this long, I really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. That helps the channel grow and helps us out. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.